You, Holly, with your bad news. Thank you so much for this morning. And we're going to stick with sport, actually, because not content with setting a world speed record once, British daredevil Zara Davis has become the fastest woman on earth on a windsurfing board for a second time after travelling at more than 53 miles per hour in the deserts of southern Africa.
53 miles an hour.
I don't think I could
extraordinary.
hang on.
No, exactly. We're going to speak to Zara in a moment, but first, let's take a look at her in action.
I guess that's the bit where the record
Wow.
already had been broken.
Wow.
But what amazing speeds! And Zara is with us here in the studio. And I was thinking when we were talking to the world record holder at speed on a windsurfer that we'd be looking at you kind of cruising out in the open ocean. But it's that really thin strip of water. Why is it you do it on that kind of narrow canal?
Well, basically we build the canal because it's flatter. So the flatter the water is, the faster you're going to go on the sort of craft that we're on. So yeah, but really flat, and it's not very deep either. So if you have a little tumble, it's only about 40 centimetres deep, so you're going to hit the sand at some point.
At least, though, given that you call it a canal, there's no sort of barges or people going down the towpath,
No,
walking the dog, or
shopping canal.
Trench, I think, would probably be a better word than canal.
How do you work on those sort of marginal gains that are often talked about in terms of sporting prowess and breaking records to try and make those additional gains in speed?
It is very much about marginal gain. When I broke the record back in 2012, this canal in Luderitz in Namibia was new, and the speeds really did rocket up. But then Cameron Yagi took my record in 2015, and it's now starting to all get tight, so it's much more about marginal gain. So it's about good kit, Simmer, my sponsor, amazing equipment. They're developing new sails all the time, had new boards this time, new fins. So it's all about just trying to make things a little bit faster, trying to design things for the angle. We're sailing at about 140 degrees to the wind, and getting the weight right, being fit enough. Lots of little marginal gains that really make a difference.
How confident were you that it was going to be your record again, that you were going to snatch it back when you set out on that attempt?
I was pretty sure I could go faster than I went in 2012 for a variety of reasons. I didn't go as fast as I could, but it's wind dependent. Our sport is so much about the conditions, which is why we're there for so many weeks. The event is open for 6 weeks, and we sit around and wait for the weather.
So that particular spot is nice and windy. What about, but it's quite a long way away.
Yes.
So how do you go about training when you're here in the UK? Where is the windy spot that you head to with your board and your
Well,
sail?
actually, we all travel. So, and that's true of all of us around the world. There are thousands of speed sailors who use GPS, actually, to compete against each other around the world. And in the UK, generally, Portland Harbour, Weymouth and Portland National Sailing Academy, that was the original home of speed, 1972, I think, when the first speed competition was held, and it's still happening now at Weymouth Speed Week. And also West Kirby, not far from here, West Kirby Marine Lake on the Wirral. So we do a lot of training there, and that's very similar to the canal in Luderitz. So it has a similar sort of corner, and you sail along a wall in a very similar way.
And why did you get into speed windsurfing? And for me, I didn't think anybody was doing this kind of thing. We see people doing all the tricks and the jumps off the big waves and stuff, but this is, this is a real specialist. How did you end up getting into this?
Well, speed is fun, I think, and most people like speed. There's speed in all sorts of disciplines, whether it's cars or bikes or whatever. Also, I'm tall and I'm heavier, and that suits the discipline really well. My husband speed sailed, so I sort of just accidentally fell into it, really.
Are you better than him?
Yeah, technically.
And how do you get the balance right? Because people often talk, don't they, about work-life balance and all the rest of it. I mean, you really have to juggle it because you've got a full-time job as well.
Yeah, I run Walnut Grove Clinic in Portishead. I'm an osteopath. I work full-time, and yeah, it's not easy. I don't have children. I think maybe that helps. But luckily, I'm self-employed. The business trundles on, when I'm not there. I've been doing it long enough, 25 years now. But it isn't easy, juggling work, trying to get out, trying to train. because it's such a weather-dependent sport, it's got to be windy when I go. And those people that know the Bristol Channel where I live, near Weston-super-Mare, you know, it's got to be high tide, windy and off work, daylight at this time of year. So it's, you know, it's really much harder than it is with perhaps traditional sports, running or, you know, athletics, something like that, where, you know, you say you're going to go running at 7 o'clock, you go running at 7 o'clock. You know, I go to the beach and sit there and think, it's not as windy as I thought, I'm not going out.
It makes your world record even more remarkable. So congratulations, Zara. Thank you so much for coming in and telling us all about that.
Thank you.
Incredible stuff.
Absolutely. Brilliant. Thank you. Well, this is where we say goodbye to Kat, who is off.